Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and very good day to all my beloved students. We meet again in this lesson for the third stage of organizational development process. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can you still recall the first stage of organizational development process and the second stage of the development process? So, I hope that it's still fresh in your mind. However, without further delay, let's look at the third stage of the organizational development process. Ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, we have two learning objectives that we need to achieve. So, as for the third stage of organizational development process entitled the diagnostic phase in organizational development process. So as for this stage, or as for this title, there are two learning objectives that we need to achieve at the end of this lesson. So the first objective is to recognize the various techniques for gathering information from client system. So in this learning objective, the practitioner and the client will begin to gather data about the system. And the second learning objective, which is to apply a systematic diagnosis to organizational situation, where this objective is to better understand the client systems, problems, identify forces causing the situation, and to provide a basis for selecting change strategies. So boys and girls, let's look what is the understanding of the diagnostic phase. The diagnostic phase is one of the most critical stages in the organizational development process. In this process, the practitioner needs to understand the organization's current way of operation by collecting and analyzing the organization's data to determine the problem and identify its causes. Also, the selections of change strategy will be involved in this stage. Thus, this is an imperative stage in the organizational development process. In another explanation, this third stage of organizational development is the diagnostic process. This step defines what and how the company is functioning. It occurs when a practitioner and client collect data about the system in order to comprehend the client's issues, identify the forces creating the condition, and choose a change strategy. The diagnosis phase identifies the precise problem that demands a solution, identifies the variables that cause the problems, and provides a basis for selecting effective strategies and procedure. During this phase, we will also diagnose the factors that produce the problem. It is a collaborative process in which important information about the presenting problem is obtained, examined, and assessed by organizational stakeholders and the consultant. There are a number of different approaches to collect the data, such as using a Google form, second surveys, and next is interviews, and so on. Before making any changes, the top management of an organization such as the CEO or manager is required to gather the relevant facts, to gather the relevant facts needed to make an accurate decision. My beloved students, that the end of the explanations of the third stage in the organizational development process. Assessment for this lesson. Alright. As for the learning objective 1, which is to recognize the various techniques for gathering information from client system, the activity that the student needs to do is first design a survey question to diagnose the actual problem that require an audit process. Just draft one survey questions as an example to the anticipated problem which you have identified on the first stage. And as for the assessment, students have to use Excel to analyze the data gathered from the survey question and which type of data you can use to make a decision for audit process, and you have to answer and you have to the reasons why you say that type of data can be used to make a decision for your audit process. And another second learning objective is about to apply a systematic diagnosis to organizational situation. So as for this, the activity is students have to suggest the basis in selecting the change strategies. And second one, you have to make an assessment. Why do you think the selected strategy is working? So, I hope that you enjoy the activity and the assessment required for this lesson. Bye-bye.